Hello.
Hello, Alex. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so glad that Mary could, kind of hook us up, and I think you're really gonna appreciate what I have to say today.
Yeah. Mary's a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a very long time, and I trust her opinion dearly. So,
So I've heard. I've actually heard that you guys run races together. Is that correct?
yeah. We ran quite a few together.
You do the Peachtree this year by any chance?
Actually, I just missed it. I was really busy with work, so I actually couldn't make it this time. But I missed it. I know Mary said she had ran it, so um,
I'm gonna tell you, sir, you're extremely lucky. It's the hottest Peachtree I've ever run in my entire life. I think by like 9 o'clock it was like 102 degrees, extremely humid,
oh
and
wow, I picked a good one to miss then, huh?
exactly. And I know you've been here yourself. I was so busy that I hadn't been running much this year. I just got caught up. I got a new promotion. I was working on some stuff, so it got a little. Yeah, no, you definitely missed a good one.
Yeah. That's what I heard. That's what Mary told me. So,
Yeah, so I know your time is valuable, so I'm not going to waste it. I want to go ahead and just kind of give you an idea of why I kind of scheduled this meeting with you today.
okay,
So, today I just kind of wanted to talk to you, tell you a little bit about my company and what we do, hear a little bit about your company, kind of how things work over there,
okay.
get a little insight into how you do payroll, see if you're having any pinch points, any problems, and then I can kind of tell you some things that with some solutions we have to kind of work with those problems. And if you have any questions, we can go over those, and we can see if we're a good fit for you, and maybe move forward if you'd like.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Perfect. So, tell me, Alex, have you heard anything about ADP?
To be honest with you, I a little bit. I've had some friends of mine who are other business owners. They've used ADP for their payroll, but I don't know much other things about them than that.
Sure. No, I get that. I get that a lot. A lot of people see our logo around, but they don't really know what we do. So we actually started 60 years ago, about out of Patterson, New Jersey, and as an automatic payroll service. And kind of from there, we've kind of grown to become the golden standard for our industry. We have about 610,000 employees that we service. So over the years, we've garnered a lot of expertise that we bring to the field. And we pretty much come into your company and we dive in and kind of figure out what kind of issues you have with your payroll services, your HR, and your tax filing. We actually try to optimize those for you.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know
Perfect.
ADP did all that. That's pretty cool.
No, we're a pretty big company. We definitely have a lot of services. So let me see here. I've got some information on your company. It looks like you got two managers and 10 employees, one location, and you're using QuickBooks right now. Is that correct? Why don't you tell me a little bit about your company and how you do things?
Well, I own a fitness company. I had three managers at my first location and 14 employees, so 17 total. And I actually just opened up a new location. I actually bought out a competitor, and uh, bought out a competitor, and I have two managers and 10 employees. So that was the information you had. But um,
Okay. No, that's great. That means business is booming, eh?
yeah, it's been great. It's awesome to be in a business that I'm really passionate about. So
Definitely understand that. That's really great. So I've used QuickBooks before myself, and we've had some customers that actually switch from QuickBooks. As they upgrade, things can get more confusing as you have more employees. And one issue a lot of them have is with tax codes and liability. So the tax code's really long. It can be very confusing. It's constantly changing. Is this something you have issues with on your side?
I think I used to when I first started using QuickBooks, but now I'm kind of familiar with how it works and I'm comfortable using it. So I wouldn't say it's an issue now.
Sure. No, that makes sense. What Mary says, you've been a part of 5 businesses that you sold, right?
Yeah, five. Yes.
Kind of made you. That makes sense. Okay, sure. So The second issue a lot of our clients come across, especially in small businesses, is when you're filing some Excel, etc. A lot of people kind of, they find it difficult to make mistakes. They have to cut their own checks, so it's difficult making those timelines. And then, they don't have the direct deposit feature. So would you say that's something you have issues with as well, just that kind of difficulty of use?
Kind of the same thing with the tax code. I'm kind of used to doing all that now, so it's kind of like second nature to me. So I'm usually pretty accurate with my inputs. So
Okay, sure. So another thing that we actually come across is time. I tried to start a small business myself, and we came across a situation where it was just very difficult. And I was trying to manage two flows of revenue, and at a company, you're always wearing a bunch of hats.
yeah,
It can be.
there. It's that's definitely true. It's definitely hard.
Sure. No, I completely understand that. So, especially, cutting those checks and just dealing with the payroll system and trying to manage all that, it's just kind of something you don't really need in a small business. So, I mean, do you think if we had an issue that could kind of alleviate that and give you some more time to work with your clients, bring in new clients, and do you think that would be something important to you?
Absolutely, yeah. Bringing in new clients and keeping my business growing is my number one priority right now. So
Completely understood. Okay, perfect. So, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about ADP and what we can do for you
okay,
on some of those notes. So first of all, ADP, we're a very big company. As I told you, we have about 10% of the market share. We're a AAA rated company, so we're not going anywhere. Kind of stands as a testament to our permanence. So we're always going to be available for you with our 24/7 service, for any issue you have, big or small. So I know you said that tax code liability isn't an issue for you. Just kind of want to throw this out there. We've had some clients that do have a lot of issues with that, and when you are using QuickBooks, you don't have that. You are liable for everything. So since you're not going through a third party, it does kind of leave you at a standpoint. I actually worked with a medical company, very small, about 3 people, and they filed incorrectly, and they got hit with about $17,000 in filing fees.
yeah,
So
that's alarming.
no, so yeah, I mean, freeing up using this, we have people that actually look through all those tax codes and actually bring it down to level and actually put that through. So I know you said that you're pretty good with that stuff, but just that extra bit of liability can give you a lot of comfort. So do you think that might be something that you'd reconsider? Maybe something that you'd need?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice not to have a little bit of extra security there just in case I do make a mistake. So it would be nice to have that.
Sure. And you said that you gotten pretty used to the QuickBooks. You're not worried about any accuracy issues, so we won't cover anything on that. But the last thing you kind of went over was time. And I know you said that as we went over being an entrepreneur, a lot of time invested into things, and just spending a lot of time on QuickBooks and spending time filing and spending time actually just chasing the laws around. It can
Hmm.
be time consuming, and it takes you away from your your business. It takes you away from the actual things you need to be doing. So so if I showed you a system that would not only allow you to have more time, but actually access your payroll service, that would be beneficial to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sure. Okay, perfect. Well, do you have time for a quick demo? I'd like to show you our Run app with ADP Mobile. It's actually our newest kind of line of the top of the line product. It actually helps you access it from everywhere. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I'd like to hear about this. Let's see that.
Perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to share my screen real quick, and we can go ahead and dive into this demonstration real quick. Go ahead and let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, I see it.
Perfect. So feel free to stop me if you have any questions during the demo. I'm just going to try to, just to show you a few features in here and show you how to file payroll. So I know, sitting at home, cutting checks can be kind of troublesome, but this actually allows you access to your payroll from anywhere. So, if you need to do payroll on Thursday night and you don't have, and you're kind of like running late, you can always just run home and do it on your app. So when you first open up the app, this is what it's going to look like. It's your home page. It's going to give you the option to resume your weekly payroll, or you can actually come in here and see what's new from our company. This will give you like a little news feed. You can come down to the bottom, and this is actually going to be your payroll. You can continue the current week or start a new one.
Okay.
You can go to your employee section, and this is where you're going to kind of track your employees. It's going to, you can hone in here and see how much you pay them. You can see which location they're working at. I know you said you had 2 locations now, so this will kind of help you track that. You can cover their job titles, and you can cover just anything else that would help you sort them. Next, we're going to go to reports, and this is just going to show you your history. So this shows you your last payroll session, so you can kind of prepare for the next one. It's going to show you your liability issues, your payroll summary. So if you have one of your employees that comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm not sure you paid me right," you can go ahead and just pull up your payroll summary right here, and it makes it easy. And you can also see your earnings record.
Yeah, that would be very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. So the final section is more of our HR stuff. This is going to include stuff like our doc vault, our HR dictionary, and HR checkup. Along with this comes our HR manual creation. So if you need to create an internal kind of HR, do's and don'ts booklet for your employees, you can do that here.
Cool.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
So we'll go ahead and show you how to file real quickly. We're going to go ahead and continue resume of the pay period. Here you're going to go ahead and come in, make sure that it's the right date, make sure we're filing for the right section. Then we're going to click on resume. And this is going to show you how many hours everybody worked. So if you come through here and look at everything and maybe you decide, hey, Karen didn't work 35 hours this week, she only worked 30. Well, we can in real time come in here, click on this, change it to 30, and in real time go ahead and save this and switch it to 30 hours. So that way it's super simple. It's not like QuickBooks where you're kind of just moving everything around. It gives you a really bird's eye glance of things and allows you to really kind of hone in on things. So from here, we can go on preview. And if you're really sure that you did everything right, you sound like you've been doing this for quite a while. So you may be fine doing that, just going ahead and forcing the payroll through. But you can also click calculate. And what calculate does, it actually shows you how much money you're going to need. I know running a small business, you may have like 1 or 2 bank accounts that you're using, and you may not always have enough money in there. So this like kind of removes the fact that you could have an error and actually overdraft your account. There's no reason to go ahead and start having to pay the bank extra money or actually have your credit rating be damaged because of this. And then once we click approve, we're going to go ahead and approve payroll, and it's immediately going to direct deposit into everybody's account. Just like that. No checks cut, no nothing. Everything's good to go. And it's going to bring you back to your home screen.
Yeah, that's it's very easy to use, which is definitely that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, of course. So I guess now that we've kind of gone over the system, we kind of went over all the things you were talking about. I told you how the tax liability can be a big issue. How using our system can actually guard you against a bunch of liability issues, especially when you have so many employees. Showed you how this app, it can save you a bunch of time. The ease of it can actually keep you, kind of step you away from QuickBooks, which can be time consuming. You won't have to cut those checks. And you can spend more time actually with your business and with your family, like the more important things. So now we can kind of go over price. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here again so you can kind of see.
Actually, one thing I was about to bring up. I was like, all these things are nice and awesome, but how much is it going to cost me? So
I'm reading your mind, sir.
Right now,
so I can kind of show you. This is kind of the pricing that we have. This is the pricing book. So you kind of told me how many employees you have, and you have 2 locations. So it looks like you have a total of 29 employees between the 2 locations,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to
Right.
put you in this bracket right here. So if I do the math, you said you're going to be doing bi-weekly or weekly?
I'm going to pay my employees 2 times a month.
Okay, perfect. So if we do the math, it's about 97.90 if for the month. If you're gonna have if you're gonna be doing just our regular standard, and then 68. So about 137.90 a month for the HR solutions, and that includes those the doc system where you can actually store some of your documents, and it's going to have that tool to actually help you create an actual manual for your do's and don'ts at your company. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. So we've kind of gone over everything. I've given you the price. We've gone over some of the issues. Do you have any questions before we continue?
Oh, well, my main focus was the pricing, which you had already covered. But I'm just worried that once I submit something into this app, that it's out of my hands, and what if you guys like file my taxes incorrectly or something like that? Like it's out of my hands. I can't control it, and that's what kind of gets me worried about doing a service like this.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. So the good thing about it is completely up into your hands until you click approve. So it's one of those situations where you do have complete control over how much you submit, how many hours each employee has, how much money it's going to cost from the very beginning. And on top of that, we have. I understand your tax concern. Taxes are a big thing that concern a lot of people, especially you were saying that you're an expert in the tax code. Well, most big companies, they have entire work groups dedicated to following tax law. We
Okay.
actually have the same thing. So what we do is we actually take our team and give you that big business feel and protection, even though you're a small business. And so that really helps protect you against any liability. Does that kind of get rid of your fears on that?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Thank you. I appreciate you clearing that up for me.
Perfect. Do you have any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, perfect. Well, so we've kind of shown that this will help you a lot with some of the issues you were having. As I said, it could save you a lot of money in the future through liabilities. It kind of protects you against that kind of side of things. But more importantly, it's going to save you a ton of time. And the thing about the cost is that, you know, if you save even like, what is it, two, so if we, with the payroll function, if you save even 9 hours of your time a week, you're pretty much paying that off. And so as I showed you, it's very simple to use. It's going to save you a ton of time. You don't have to file from the office. You don't have to deal with QuickBooks anymore. You don't have to cut those checks. So 9 hours just seems like you're going to hit that in no time. And that's if you're only you're doing about $15 a month. So, and you kind of been agreeing with me as we go along. So do you think this is something you're ready to move forward with?
Now, you did say that there are a lot of awesome features, and it does take away a lot of my concerns, but I'm just the type of person, nothing against you or your presentation or anything. I'm just the type of person that I like to think about a decision before I make it, especially one as big as this. So I'm not quite ready to make the decision to do your payroll services.
Sure. I understand. So are you just afraid you're going to get stuck with something that you don't like, you don't need,
No,
and
no,
you
no,
think it's just
not
going
that at all. It's just that I like to really let these ideas sink in my head before I pull the trigger. You know, like I said, it's nothing against you. Um, it's just me.
Sure. No, that's fine. I do want to put one more thing under your hat
Okay.
before we take off, and that's that I have a promotion running so that we do offer 2 months free. And so that means that you can actually use those right against your current payroll service. You can use that on top of it for no charge to yourself and kind of see if we're a good fit for your system. And that
Okay.
way there's no liability. You can kind of take it on and you can actually see if it's what everything I've said it is. See what it's cracked out to be.
Yeah, that I still want to think about it for about 24 hours. But if you can give me your contact information, I will get back to you, and we'll probably end up doing the demo. But it's just something I have to think about for a little bit before I pull the trigger.
No, that's completely fine. So I'll go ahead and yeah, go ahead and give me a call back if you think about it. If I don't hear from you, is it okay if I give you a call back in like maybe a week or so?
Absolutely, please do. I like owning in this new store. It's got me really busy, so
I'm sure.
I would love a call back because it might slip my mind or something like that to give you a call. So
Okay, perfect. Well, Alex, thank you so much for your time. We'll be in touch, and you have a wonderful day, sir, okay?
thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Bye.